battlefield, that's where I'ma waste you.
I hope the subject don't turn you away, but the whole hip-hop generation need to pray.
All right, now, gather round, everybody. I got a story for you that's going to get a lot of people talking. I'm sure after I tell this story, a lot of people are going to be bringing up my name in the coming days. So we'll get to this one right here. It's a story that's 3 years in the making. We're now about 3 years in the making on this story. All right, so this will be the who, the what, the where, the when, the how, and the why of what I've been doing for the past 3 years. For the most part, anyway. So after this, pretty much, you're going to realize, I hope anyway, that nothing you say is going to mean anything to me, considering what I'm about to make public. And it never will, so I don't even know why you continue talking my name in your mouth, but you're going to do it, so just keep talking. All right, so for this one, even if hell isn't real, now, listen here now, even if hell isn't real and I'm a madman thinking that it is, well, the thing about it is, your brain's still a computer, and it's still a computer system that needs to be taken care of, so nothing you say about this, nothing you say is going to change anything from a scientific perspective. So listen up, even you heathens out there. Maybe you'll come around after you get this one out of you. So, and again, even if you don't believe anything, your personal computer known as your mind is being destroyed by the product that I'm about to talk about. So hell, even if you don't want to go to hell, and that's not even your motivation for doing what I'm going to tell you to do, probably do it anyway, because if you really got heathen desires in this world, this makes it better for you. In a way. I'll get into that later on, though. Alright, so this all starts on July 19th, 2020. Right in the smack dab in the middle of a pandemic. I met someone, my first adult love. She happened to be a nurse. So right in the middle of the pandemic, I meet a nurse and we fall in love over a fun period of time. So I meet this girl and we do our thing for quite some time. And because of the fact that we're doing our thing for quite some time, on a regular basis, on a daily level, well, see, what I did is I accidentally triggered a long enough period of abstination from a certain activity to be named later that it actually caused me to undergo actual brain chemistry change from my abstination from a certain product to be named later. Well, and the only reason that I was able to do this is because this abstination was caused by the fact that my desire for that product was replaced by my desire for the girl that I met. So that caused the abstination for the product that I'm going to discuss. Okay, so in undergoing this period of abstinence from an almost 2-decade habit that I went through, the first stages of withdrawal of a certain thing that I'm going to discuss. This is going to be about an 18-part series or so. So there's a certain thing that I'm going to discuss that I went through a withdrawal from simply because I spent so much time with this girl. And basically, the long story of the short here is that what I had happened to me from these withdrawal symptoms from this product that I abstained from for the whole period of our relationship, well, see, this actually caused the relationship itself to fail. But, so basically here I was by this time, it was about September of 2020, and I'm deep into life-changing events in the middle of the greatest relationship of my life. So at the same time that I'm having the most fun, the best relationship that I've ever had, the girl that I thought I was going to be with for a while, probably best that it didn't happen, but at the time I was in the middle of life-changing events on a number of levels that I didn't even realize what the life-changing events really were. See, I thought the life-changing events were meeting this girl that I maybe marry. I don't really know. Actually, now I know I wouldn't have. But actually, at the time, I would have been stupid enough to do it. So that alone tells you what I got out of this, that I now realize how stupid I would have been to marry the girl that at the time I was lustfully driven to fall in love with. And thank God I didn't. But I also thank her for her time with me, and I gratefully respect everything that I that she gave me, because she gave me all of this. So because of her, I got all the rest of this now. So I thank her from the bottom of my heart. I'll tell that to anybody. I'm probably going to name my kid after her just because of what she did for me. And I don't know what her life is right now. I'm more concerned with afterlives, but yeah, I wish her the best, and I really hope she gets to where she wants to go. But anyways, it was for the best that I had that end. Even though I was so happy at the time, I just want to tell you exactly how happy I was. I was happier than I've ever been in my life. It's unbelievable how happy I was. I can't even begin to explain the blissful. I guess I can begin to explain it, because everybody's felt that at some point, or hopefully, anyways. Or hopefully everybody gets a chance to feel that at some point, but maybe not. Well, I wish you the best if you haven't. And even though many of those of you who have experienced blissful love, well, you paid the price for it just like I did. So it doesn't even matter if you haven't had it, really, for the most part, because most of us get taken by that regardless. And the reason for it is going to be discussed later on. The reason you get taken by all the women you meet, and the reason women take men on a regular basis is because of what I'm about to talk to. So basically what ends up happening is I get mercilessly dumped by someone I struggled mightily with losing, and I found something much greater. It's something much more, I forget the line. I'll put the song in for you.
Of course, it's much greater than your Benz or your Lex. The engine to my comprehension is just too complex. Much too complex.
Alright, so after having spent a month straight basically having sex nonstop with the first real love of my life, I wind up actually committing my body, soul, and mind to an abstinence program to that very subject, aka I abstained from sex after being dumped by this girl. And that will give you kind of the first hint of what I'm going to be going into, although it's going to be a little bit for the reveal here. Okay, so only now the thing is that I'm abstaining from all sex as well as the sex related to the abstinence I was already doing when I was with the girl. So she takes all the sex out of my life, and that starts a thing that, well, I'll just be talking about it this whole video. So basically, and I gotta throw this in. I can't lie here. This all started way differently than it ended up being. Like, in the start, I was actually doing everything that I'm gonna talk about doing, just in some wild, insane hope that I was gonna get this girl back and we're gonna go back to having sex all the time. So I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I stumbled into this, hand to God, only because God. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I was a fucking idiot. And I'll be the first person ever to tell you I was an idiot for most of my life. And hell, I was even an idiot way longer than I thought I wasn't an idiot. So if I ever call you an idiot, well, that's what I think about myself for most of my life. Not an idiot anymore, mostly because I got this thing I'm about to talk about here to get my brain working again the right way, like people's brains used to work in the past. Before they had this thing that we all abuse on a regular basis and don't even know we're abusing it because we don't even believe that we can abuse it. So basically I was doing all that. I was focused on being ready when she came back. Oh, that's how smart I was. Like, dude, I was such a genius, man. I gotta laugh at myself because I was fucking, oh my God, dude. I don't even know what I was thinking.
I'm talking from a veteran's chair, prepare MC's nightmare, or there's no need to fear.
Alright, so basically I had this radical pipe dream of getting the girl back, and that's what drove me to the finish line. I'll tell you that straight up. Like, this radical dream that I had of getting this girl back, well, fucking, that's what did it for me. So I don't know, maybe if you meet a girl and get mercilessly dumped, it'll help you like it helped me. So who knows? Probably not after you're hearing this. Because after you hear this, you're probably going to abstain from the thing I'm talking about. Hopefully, anyways. Hopefully. Okay, so, the only thing I want to add here. The girl I met is absurdly beautiful. I want her to know that. One of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen in my life. But she was something extra because she had a personality that meshed with mine. We had a lot of fun. Okay, so I was finally with the most amazing woman I ever met. And on and on and on. Okay, so here's the reveal. Bam! I quit porn cold turkey. Like that. Actually, not really, but kinda. I pretty much did, and then I found out that it's like a huge thing that you got to go through this like huge addiction battle with. And then, hopefully in your case, like mine, I eventually said, fuck you, I'm never doing this again, and I won. So basically what the thing going on is, as I stand here on this day of, I don't even know it, I think it's June 12th, 2023. So I haven't watched porn since March 28th, 2021. And that's about 2 years and 3 months. You can do the math on that. I don't even give a shit. I don't count the days myself. So, also, I haven't masturbated a single time in 2 years and 3 months. Not one time. I'll say that closer. I haven't masturbated in 2 years and 3 months. Hand to God on that. I will swear my hand on a Bible. I'll go grab one. You know what? All right. So see, we got a holy Bible here. It's Martha Dixon's Bible. I don't know who that is. It's some lady that bought her Bible because it's from like 1930s. I haven't masturbated in 2 years and 3 months. Hand to God. God knows that. And I'll just tell you that straight up. Most of you don't give a shit about the Bible. So if you don't, well, I take it very seriously. So just think about that. All right. So, yeah, that's the reveal there. Okay. So that's the big reveal. That's what I've been doing for 3 years. Whoop-de fucking do, right? That's probably what you're thinking. Well, hopefully you're going to learn that what I did was a great thing and that you should do it too. Because, quite frankly, from what I learned from it, you're fucking nuts for not doing it. So, we'll get into that here. Okay, so what I'm doing is called No Fap. It's No Fap. If you want to research, go to Google, type No Fap, type withdrawal symptoms, type No Fap. Type, what's going to happen to me? Type, no Fap. How do I do it? Whatever you want to do it. Like, anything like that. Okay, so also, I'm going to do this again here. Hand before God on the Bible, I am never going to have premarital sex again. I swear on my life on that. You won't trick me. You won't ever, there will be none of that. You won't get me having sex in any way until I'm married. And my hand is on the Bible, swearing to God that I won't do that. I already told God I wasn't going to do that, so it's already established between us. But I'm going to do it here on video just to show you how serious I am. Thank you, Martha Dixon's Bible, for the assist.
All black leaders are throwing on their war paint. I ain't seen a saint that might make me faint. How long can we sing that song knowing that the shit we're kicking, brothers, is dead wrong?
All right, so, and here's what I got to add here is, I'm doing this for the future of my children, my wife, well, first my wife, then my children, and foremost God, like I just said. There's no amount of money, there's not an amount of money on earth you're going to ever be able to pay me to break the promise that I just made on camera for you. So, you can wheel some dump trucks up to my house full of cash and watch me turn them down if you want to make a big stunt video. Just give me some of the profits off the video, because I'm going to turn your dump trucks full of cash down. So if you want to make some money, get some dump trucks full of cash, wheel them up near me, and watch me turn that shit down. We'll get 25 billion views. Just get the dump trucks of cash. I'll do the rest. So basically, you're never going to change this. And the main reason is what I learned about sexual energy is it's worth more than money. Sexual currency is worth far greater than the cost of the Benz or the Lex. It is an engine to a comprehension that is too complex. You don't know that. You've been fooled to think sex is trivial, meaningless nonsense. Alright, so again, another thing I'm never going to do. Never going to lust after a woman again. Under no circumstance will I ever objectify a woman's sexuality again. I don't see breasts, butts, thighs, waists, etc. I kind of see them just because I can help people, like, get into better shape, because I know more about that than, like, 99.9% of the population. If you need help with that, just message me. I'll do that trick, too. Alright, so, that's the only way I'm looking at a woman. I will never, ever sexually objectify a woman again. I'm still a man, so, you know, like, I can spot beauty when I see it. Like, if I see a beautiful woman with a very nice body, or even any type of body, I'm not going to deny that beauty exists. But I'm never going to lust after it and do anything in my human nature to obtain the sexual currency of that woman, unless she wants to marry me.
I watched drugs and guns take control. I even watched how the devil took the black woman's soul. They ain't got respect no more. When your ass is on the camera, you ain't nothing but a whore. Ladies, you need to help out your man instead of fronting at the club with a drink in your hand.
So that's that. I already put the hand to God, so that's what's going on with me. I don't get and then I want to add this. A lot of you people got a lot of shit to say about what I do with my life. The fact that I haven't done this in two years and 3 months or whatever it is, like, I don't even know what to tell you about the shit you think. Like, you're just making shit up. Okay, so basically what's going on the rest of my life, never be ruled by lust again in terms of brain power. Never going to happen. I already beat that one, so you didn't even got to question that. I'm pretty much now immune to female control because I'll never give myself to a woman who already married me. So you can't get me on that one ever again. Never going to happen. Okay, so I, unlike you, am one of the only men capable of actually committing to a love with a woman or a male partner for that matter. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you don't take this seriously, whether you're gay, bisexual, I don't even know the term for normal. So it doesn't matter what you are. If you can't commit to one person and you can't commit to ridding yourself of lust, like, you're screwed. So keep on doing it if you want. I don't know. You're going to pay the price. Alright, so pretty much what's going on is basically every man alive is entirely consumed and owned by sex, not based on love, and that's pretty much why all your relationships go sideways and divorce rates like 90%, and people don't even want to even get together anymore, except for like the Instagram babes go travel to Dubai to get people to take dumps on their chest for like 10 grand. That's about the only thing we got going on anymore, and the main reason for that is because every man is entirely controlled by lust and his sexual desires. And it's fairly easy to defeat them, but most people have never tried. Most people don't even think it's an actual thing. Okay, so, again, I already said it. Man's love is impure if he's driven by his lust, and that is caused by a lack of self-love. Pretty simple concept. You got to be able to love yourself to be able to love another person. If you're sitting there cranking away on your hammer, or cranking away on that thing all the time, you don't love yourself. You love your sexual desire more than yourself. You wouldn't be abusing yourself like that if you did. I don't care what you think about that, because that's why I'm making this video. I literally don't care. Fucking, if you don't want to make your shit happen better than it should be, well, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to pay the price. You don't understand. Alright, so porn and masturbation are basically the most destructive force on earth for the male's ability to do anything, really, to even focus. Porn use is a denigration of the very soul of the man, so that's another reason relationships go sideways when a man is using porn in the middle of a relationship. Replacing your lustful desire over a properly wired brain. You don't know that, though, because you haven't studied brain chemistry related to pornographic images, and you probably should. I'm going to make an entirely another video where I'm going to give you the science behind what it's doing to your brain, and you're going to, maybe then, or maybe you'll look it up on your own, but probably not, because you won't find anything good, for the most part. Well, maybe you will, though. But, if you want to research that before I make my next video, because all you people gotta stalk me and all that shit, so before I make that one, you want to research how pornography, and anything related to lust whatsoever destroys your brain, well, you should probably research that on your own, because if you take this seriously, you're going to have to do it anyway. Okay, so basically, I've discovered through this whole process that the control of sexual desire by the male is the only way a real relationship between people, and I'm talking just friendships in general, can work. Like, I've already been over this. I don't give a fuck about being friends with any of you people. I don't care at all. But from what I've learned from this, I now see the sexual desire drives literally all of your actions. Like, you people will fucking, you even say it, like, you'll drag your fucking ballsack through a fucking pit of glass for an hour straight just to smell the girl's fart or something. Like, you people are fucking insane.
We all need to be down on our knees, begging please, Lord help us shake this disease. And MCs don't take these rhymes for a joke, with Max Penn is mightier than the sports stroke. So take heed to the words that I sing, cause on Judgment Day every man must attend. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You can front now, but when God comes, you can't get strapped for when God comes. Cause you won't know how to act when God comes.
And that's not not even a joke, because you'll actually do that shit. Like, that's what I know now. You people are that fucking crazy when it comes to sex. And I'm never speaking to another male again for the rest of my life who doesn't commit to ridding themselves of adultery. Because if you can't do that, there's no point in talking to you, because everything you do is driven by your desire for sex. Like, everything you want to do to go out to have fun, you just want to bang a babe or whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, until you get that out of there, I'm never talking to your asses again. So, like, people talk shit about me like, oh, you don't have any friends. I don't fucking want to be friends with any of you people. You don't have interests that even remotely come close to aligning with mine. So get that through your thick-ass skulls right now. That's why that's exactly why I said the shit at the beginning of the video. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think, because you're fucking destroying yourselves and you have no idea. So if you want to go ahead and destroy yourself more by hating on me, fucking do it. I don't give a shit. I'm lucky as hell that I grew up in a way that none of this shit bothers me. Because nothing can fucking bother me. I've already dealt with the fucking most ridiculous shit you've ever seen. So keep running your mouths. I don't really care. All I want is more people watching my videos. Like, just so you can learn. I don't even give a fuck about the view counts. I don't give a fuck about it making money. I just want you to fucking learn. Like, it's pretty simple shit. Somehow nobody's ever figured that out about me. Like, talking all this shit, but you never figured out all I care about is you learning. Like, it ain't that hard to fucking learn. You literally just sit down and focus your brain. But what you're going to find out, the reason you can't focus your brain is because of the sex thing and the porn destroying your brain over however many decades you've been using it. I used it for 2. That's pretty much the baseline minimum for everybody who ain't 20 years old right now. Alright, so, going a little off track here. Okay, so in more ways than one, this is why I'm doing all this now, because I don't want to be like you people. Like, I've already learned that all of my past shortcomings are related to fucking not being able to control my sexual desire. You might not think that's true for you, but I guarantee you it is. So basically, I'm pretty much doing all of this. Oh, and actually, the other part of this, main reason I'm doing this, so I can truly devote myself to love my wife, because I couldn't do that before. Like, the reason I never been in a relationship, because I couldn't give a fuck about dating a girl, because there's a million of them to pick from. Like, and that's the same thing going on with all the rest of these dudes that just they're empty, completely empty, and just going around having sex with a bunch of women. Like, they can't devote themselves to love because they haven't defeated their own lust. Until you do that, like, might as well just give up. And the thing that sucks about that is your entire sexual nature, actually your whole psychological makeup is going to be completely destroyed. This is going to be what I'm going to be talking about for the rest of this. Your whole psychological makeup is going to be completely fucking destroyed if you even try to quit this and rid yourself of your lustful desires. Because it's going to take like 2-3 years before you're even through the whole thing. And if you're already like married and you're trying to defeat your lust, like, good luck with that. That's all I'll tell you. Like, if you have a wife that has sexual needs and you're married to her and you're trying to do this no fap stuff, like, good luck, buddy. Good luck. You're gonna need it. So for all you single people, it's a lot easier for you guys, because you can just stay single for like the 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years you need to reboot your brain, because it's gonna take a while. Like I was talking about at the beginning, I was fucking crazy as hell thinking this shit was gonna be easy. Oh, it's gonna take like 2 months. Yeah. There's no way in hell. One thing I want to add. Any of you dumbasses think I don't have game. Oh, I'm an incel. He's an incel. He's an involuntary celibate. And he's a nerd. He doesn't get laid. He's a virgin until marriage. I've heard all this shit like a million times. Like, dude, I could take any of your fucking girls anytime I want. Like,
hello, ladies.
you're actually lucky that I'm doing this shit now. And quite frankly, now that I gained this power of controlling my own lust, like, I could fucking turn tricks on girls like you don't even understand. You just don't. So anybody talking all that shit, keep talking it. I would say I would come take your girl from you, but I'm not in the business of that. So, can't do that. So that's kind of like a dual-headed fuck. Like, it sucks that I can't use my power to be like you people or go out and game women all the time. Like, can't even use it for that, even though I got the power now. which kind of sucks, but whatever. It's not like I'm motivated by that desire anymore anyway, so it doesn't suck, but in your eyes that must suck. Most likely anyways. Okay, so
some love me, some hate me, and I understand. Truthfully, I think I'm in the same situation. Self-love mixed with self-deprecation. I'm a mixture of optimism and total desolation. Sometimes I'm impatient, sometimes I'm complacent, and other times I'm racing towards self-affirmation.
Alright, so another thing here. Pretty much you screw yourself, like, when you engage in premarital sex, like, you literally just completely screw yourself. Like, you're opening up the Pandora's box of your wife's lust, or what I would hope to be your future wife's lust. A lot of you, it's just a partner with benefits, or even just friends, like, or even just, hell, a lot of people, I don't even know what people do anymore. All I imagine is you do a bunch of sick-ass shit, and as soon as you open up the box, the Pandora's box of sick-ass shit to do with the woman you're trying to be with, like, she's going to end up leaving your ass or taking your ass for all your money. It's one of the two. Because if you've entered into the relationship with that Pandora's box of lust opened up, like, you're fucked. You're basically eating a box of rotten apples. Like, I'm not eating the rotten apple anymore. I'm not eating from that tree. Any tree but that.
Won't it eat from any tree but that? But man wants the fruit that man can't have. Eat from any tree but that. But man wants the fruit that man can't have. Eat that fruit and things go bad. So now God has to say that again. Eat from any tree but that. But man wants the fruit that man can't have.
So, like, if you let poison enter your relationship, you're going to remove yourself from it, or you're going to remove your lust from yourself, and that's the only two outcomes. So, like, you either stay in the relationship and you remove your lust, or that girl ends up dumping your ass, taking all your money, or both, and you lose it anyway. So, like, if you don't either get the lust out of the relationship or not have one, well, your girl's going to take your money, or she's going to, well, we've all seen how marriages work in the world today. Just got to look around at society and see how that's going to work out for you. So, just remember that one. I'll skip that one. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about what I went through to get here. Okay, so kind of going to do this differently in another video. I'm going to go over the timeline of all this. So basically, the first 6 months of me trying not to watch porn anymore, it was fucking terrible. Like, it was awful. It was the worst time of my life. I didn't even know how to begin to talk about how awful it was. But I got through it, so that's all that matters. And I'm going to make a whole video about this. It was awful. But pretty much what that first 6 months was, I was just trying to quit, never watch porn again. Like, just never watch it again. Because after having not done it, going through the withdrawal, like, I realized what it was doing to my brain. So, like, every time I would watch it, I'd get psychologically screwed up by it, considering the fact that I'm trying to quit too. So, like, brain is going haywire the whole time. So, like, the first 6 months, I do a bunch of, what do they call it, relapses. I do a bunch of relapses where I do what I'm telling myself I'm not going to do. And every time I did this, I became more psychologically broken by the pornography use than I was when I tried to use it the last time. So, like, every time that I quit and used it again, it just got worse and worse, and it was fucking terrible. So, like, every day I woke up, I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be great. Another day of being psychologically tormented by my past behaviors. Oh, great, great. How many months of this am I going to have to live? That's pretty much what I did for, like, 3 years for the most part. Well, for the most of the last 3 years. I think I'm over everything now. I can't say that for sure. But anyways, so the first 6 months was by far the worst of the psychological torment, and the main reason for that is because I was relapsing and using pornography again. So, like I said, destroys your brain, and when you're relapsing from trying to quit it, it destroys your brain way harder than it ever was when it's something normal. Like, say, this happens for a lot of people, like lactose intolerance. They have a lactose intolerance, but they can somewhat get away with eating cheese because they eat it so often. That's kind of what happens when you're regularly using porn. If you're just using it over and over and over again, your brain isn't giving you psychological problems for the most part. It's giving you problems in real life, but for the most part, no psychological problems will come outside of really niche pornography use.
Point I was a dying breed. A diamond is only a chunk of coal that stuck to his job and it didn't deny his role. That's me.
Okay, so actually, I'm gonna start this out now. What really started this? Okay, what really started this is the fact that I also had a problem that I knew I had to quit before I ever tried doing No Fap. Okay, so what I did was I first knew I had death grip syndrome, which is you jack off really like you're holding your dick like harder than you're supposed to hold it, so you lose sensation on your dick. And I also, the problem here is people who have been circumcised don't have like most of the nerve endings on their penis, so like you can't feel sexual sensation if you're circumcised, or like most of the sexual sensation has been taken from you by the fact that you're circumcised. So combine that with the fact that I have death grip syndrome, I figured out on my own that the only way I'll ever be able to ejaculate from sex is that if I get over death grip. So like I've been in sexual relationships before I met this girl that I knew I had death grip syndrome because I could have sex for hours and never ejaculate. So that's the problem there. So from that problem, I researched, found out I have death grip syndrome. So basically my next plan of action was next time I get in a relationship, I'm going to never jack off again so I get rid of death grip syndrome so I can actually ejaculate from having sex. That was my genius plan. Like I told you, I was a fucking idiot. But I had this actually did kind of work out in this instance of me being a fucking idiot. But it ended up working genius. So I don't know what to tell you there. But so basically I went my whole life never being able to ejaculate because I can only ejaculate from my own hand. That's pretty much what death grip is. You can only get off from your own hand. Like it sucks. But the one good thing is I could pretty much have sex for hours on end because I couldn't ejaculate. So somewhat of a trade-off there. But again, I'm no longer motivated by that, so it doesn't even matter anyway. So basically I learned to fix death grip syndrome. I have to never jack off again. So I entered the relationship with this woman where I'm never going to jack off again for the rest of the relationship so I could get rid of my death grip syndrome. And if I don't have to watch porn because I'm having sex with this woman, like, it's fairly easy to fix the death grip syndrome. So that was my genius plan. Oh, I'll just continuously have sex to get rid of my death grip syndrome. Yeah, that's how smart I was. So I got to get that out there. So like, I actually tried this a whole bunch of times on my own because I wanted to fix my death grip syndrome. Like even when I wasn't in a relationship, I tried like probably 20 times I think it was. And every time I did it, after about a week, I would get blue balls, and I'd be literally hunched over like if it was awful. Anybody who's had blue balls will tell you about it. Like, I don't know, they probably won't tell you about it, but it's fucking terrible, dude. Like, it's so bad. Oh my God. So, like, every time I did it, I just abandoned it as soon as I got blue balls because I couldn't take it anymore. So somehow, some way, I try, I end up not getting blue balls in the whole time with this relationship with this girl. So that ends up being the savior that gets me through the whole thing. Like, I guess it's getting me through the hump, getting me over the hump that would stop me from doing it in the past. So don't know how that happened. I just call it a miracle from God. I don't care what you think about that. That's what I call it. So, okay, so I mentioned having sex with this girl on a consistent basis, like throughout for over a month straight, like 3 times a day, basically. So that happened, like, we had sex like 90 times in like a month. And, so basically by about the 90th time, my dick completely stopped working. And then I'm having the weirdest thoughts in my brain that I've ever had in my life. Like, I'll get into this in the second video, where I discuss exactly what I was thinking. But I'm having incredibly weird thoughts in my head that don't correspond to the reality that I'm living because I'm happier than I've ever been because I'm with the love of my life, or so I thought at the time. So I foolishly believed, anyways. So basically what's going on is like, I'm like, in my head, I'm wondering what the hell is going on because I'm happier than I've ever been, and most of the time I'm happy as hell, but I'm getting these flashes of my brain just going fucking crazy and telling me just weird shit that I would never imagine my brain telling me. So knowing kind of what I'm doing with my death grip thing, I kind of have an idea of what's going on. And I also knew about No Fap before this. So like I tried also No Fap, and I tried to do death grip syndrome stuff like 20 times between probably like 2015 and 2019 or so. So basically, I've done this, and I kind of know what's going on. So I start researching what the hell's going on. And what I find out is basically because I'd been with this girl for so long, I hadn't watched porn. It took me a long time to figure this out, actually. But I had help because my brain was going crazy. So I just figured out, like, what the hell is going on with my brain as the starting point for my research. Like, I gotta see what other people say. So real long story short, I find out I'm accidentally also doing No Fap, and I'm deep into no pornography at all. So I did more than a month and a half of no pornography on my own, and that somehow got me through like the very first month and a half of reboot stages, and somehow, some way, it all worked out where I was still able to have sex with my girlfriend. So like, I don't know what to tell you. The fact that I was very, very happy with the relationship that I was in, like, it made this whole thing make complete sense to me, and made the whole thing easy as hell to pull off. Because, like, if I knew that I was happier than I've ever been, and I was still having these psychological issues going on with the symptoms that I'm only just figuring out that is related to me doing No Fap. So, like, I'm doing that whole thing, and I got so lucky that I was so happy to be with this girl at the time that I was rebooting. Because most people that go through this reboot stuff, they don't get to be happy when they're doing it. Like, they don't get to be in a relationship when they're doing it. Like, all I can tell you is it was a miracle that I got to have that happen, because I don't think I could have pulled it off without it. So basically, like, we're fake dating the whole time. You know, I'm happy. I'm so happy thinking I found my wife. And I'm forced to do research. Why is my brain going crazy? Like, what is my brain doing? It's, I'll tell you one thing it was doing. My brain was literally telling me to kill myself. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's the main reason I figured this out. I was like, what would make my brain tell me to kill myself when I'm with the love of my life? Like, that's pretty much what I had going on. And that's how I found out I was doing No Fap. So I find out I started No Fap, and I'm already a month into it. So I look into all the research. What do I got to do to continue this? All that, and I'm still doing my whole death grip thing. I'm trying to fix that because, you know, like I said, trying to get back with this girl, so like a fucking idiot. So at the end of the relationship, my dick completely stops working. That causes a rift in the relationship, and because we're not having sex constantly, the holes are exposed in the relationship that lead to some problematic thinking on both of our behalves. And we end up breaking up. So I get dumped, and like a fucking moron, I did my thing. You know, like I said, I was so sure I was gonna get her back. You don't even want to know. But nope, hell no. She didn't even ever talk to me again, basically. So like, I don't even know why actually. But I literally never talked to her again. So somehow I get this period of 6 months after she dumps me where I'm thinking I'm going to get her back the whole time, and I get this motivation to get her back, and somehow that drives me through and makes me complete my journey on No Fap. Like, dude, it's fucking insane. So, I just got lucky as hell on that one. I don't even know what to tell you. But 6 months go by after getting dumped by her, and I'm still doing my thing, hoping I get her back, yada, yada, yada. Occasionally occasionally having a relapse and watching porn, and then having more psychological problems because of it. So I just get fucking fed up with that shit. I'm like, dude, fuck this. I'm never doing it again. The day that happened was March 28th, 2021. And, well, I'm still fighting the fight right now. Like, literally, well, I'll fight it for the rest of my life. I already told you that. Like, I already put my hand on the Bible, swear to God, I wasn't going to do it. So you already got the story on that, but I'm fighting it forever, and I'm still knocking off the rust for the most part. Like I said earlier, I think I got through all of the psychological issues that I was going to deal with. From now, I just got to like have my body heal itself, because my body's still coming around, mostly in terms of my sexual health down there. Like, all that's still working its shit out, But as far as, I'm back to normal. Actually, what I'll say is I'm back to the kid I was at 13 years old the day I found porn. I became a new person the day I found porn, and I'm back to that kid now. Like, I'm back to who I used to be, and I'm happier than I could be about it, because I always wondered what happened to me. Like, what the hell happened to me? And turns out, it's fucking porn. There's a kid down the street showing me fucking porn. Like, I didn't fucking know that. I wish I would have. And hopefully I help a bunch of young children out who've learned this from me and never get into using porn because they'll know what it does to them just because I'm talking about it. Like, that's all I care about from this video. Anybody that doesn't want to learn, I don't care. Like, you can make fun of me all you damn want. Just go ahead. Like, you can fucking... I'll give you my phone number. You can send me some fucking voice messages. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Swift as a summer's breeze. The knowledge I possess is power of self, and it gives me the strength to go the length. You're yapping, flapping off at the lid, cause you must have been sleeping, now you slept. You see, you're lost in the source void that you forget I kept. But be intact and I'll spark this. It's elevated, created straight from total darkness.
So basically from about September 5th to March 28th, I was fighting porn use, and bam, that's all of 2020, the end of 2020 into the beginning of 2021 there. So like about 6 months, the end of 2020 into the start of 2021, all the way up to March 28th, I'm just battling, trying to fucking not have my brain be psychologically scarred for the rest of my life. So I know I gotta do it, but it's a hard battle, and, well, like, anybody knows controlling lust is not an easy thing. And as you'll find out in my later videos, pornography use is an addiction. You are an addicted servant of pornography if you use it. You are literally a servant of the people that make pornography. You're serving them above yourselves, and they're using you to mold society. Society is easily molded when it is psychologically driven by its lust. And you cannot tell me that the society we're living in is not psychologically driven entirely by lust. Sex is everything in our society. Don't even begin to kid yourselves. You just say it's not an addiction because you don't want to admit addiction. The first step of curing addiction is admitting you're an addict. So if you can't admit, like, I will admit that I was a pornography addict, and anybody who uses pornography is a pornography addict. There's nothing you can say to change that. It's just a fact. So if you can't admit that, you can't beat your addiction. This is basic addiction science 101. Nothing else to say there. So if you research No Fap and you read the symptoms that people have, like I said, just Google No Fap withdrawal symptoms. They're freaking crazy. Like, it's crazy. And actually, what I'm going to tell everybody about that I went through, I consider it to be a stroll in the park compared to the stuff that I've actually read these other people that have gone through. Like, I don't even want to begin to have gone through their experience with quitting pornography, because it sounds like a straight-up nightmare. Like, even though mine was a nightmare in my own eyes, I'm pretty sure I had it easy. And I basically attribute this to be watching mostly normal porn. Like, I never really got into any weird stuff with porn. I mean, so, like, and that's what abusing yourself sexually does. Like, the more you abuse yourself sexually, the further you got to take it. And that's what we're seeing in society. It's a mirror image of what's happening in society. Society is driven by lust. The lust is driving insane psychological behavior from every aspect. I know there's more things driving everything, but the lust is a gigantic part of it. Like, you don't understand. Okay, so I'm getting close to the end here. I forgot to bring my book out with me. So I'm getting close to the end here. Basically, you're rebooting your brain is well, when you're rebooting your brain, if you're actually deciding to do this and going through with it, well, you're gonna go through some mental wellness issues, and you're gonna go through just all I told myself is I gotta go through like 2 years of fucking feeling like shit. And that's what I did. I didn't feel like doing goddamn anything for 2 years. Like, the only thing I actually did is go to Summerfest. Like, you see me on camera doing this stuff. Like, a lot of the stuff I put on camera for the last, like, year, I was dealing with some stuff in there. Like, not even that hard to deal with or nothing that was that problematic. But, like, I really understand now that, someone does not wear their psychological issues. I greatly understand that now. You can't see a psychological issue with the naked eye. It cannot be done. Because I was living 2 years of being psychologically tormented, and absolutely nobody had any freaking clue what was going on.
See, I'm pure, clean. I mix with anything, not contaminated, but reanimated. First I was living the life of a blind one. Now I'm sincere, polite, and a kind one. The devil planted fear in my heart. I was just a child, that was long ago.
And basically, what symptoms you're going to get from this, I'm pretty sure it depends on how sick of porn you use. Like, the sicker the porn you're watching, the worse this is going to go for you. So if you're into some sick stuff and you want to do this, just know that. I'm pretty sure it's true. Maybe you'll get lucky and it's not true, but I'm pretty sure it's true based on everything I've researched about this compared to my own my own experience. So basically what happens is your brain has been trained to be addicted to porn for dopamine. Like, you started out using porn to get off on because it was like a new cool thing and you were exploring your sexuality and seeing what sexual nature is out there. But after a while, your brain gets addicted to dopamine, and you need the dopamine, and that's what's driving the continued use of the pornography. Your brain is addicted to the dopamine the pornography use gives it. So it starts out being exploration, and it ends up being addiction to dopamine. So basically, this is true of any addiction. Your brain is going to use crazy-ass tricks to get you to give it the reward that it wants. It wants to go back to the state that it's used to being in. So it's going to play its tricks on you continuously for as long as you don't take quitting seriously. And if you do quit and you try to go back to not quitting, well, you're probably going to suffer some serious sexual dysfunction. So anybody that plays around with this quitting no fap, like, you're playing with fire if you actually try to quit, because it's going to change you entirely as a person, and the sexual nature of the person you were before is never going to come back to you. It's going to be gone for good. So if you actually commit to this, commit with your heart, because it's going to change you, and you're never going to be able to become the person you remember yourself being. Like I told you about me back in 7th grade. Same thing. And if you quit for a while and then go back and relapse continuously the rest of your life, you're going to be, well, I don't know what to tell you. Just try it. He'll pay the price. So if you try this, better go through with it all the way, because there ain't no going back. And you can say anything you want about this, but rewiring the brain from porn use can't be stopped. The only thing that can reverse it is quitting. Like, if you're watching it, you're addicted. Doesn't matter what you say. It's causing you brain damage because you're watching it. There's nothing you can say to reverse this. Like, you have brain damage if you're a porn user. You are a brain damaged person. Doesn't matter how often you use it. If you use it at all, you are a brain damaged person. Now, if you don't use it that often, your level of brain damage is quite lower than those who use it on a regular basis. So just know that. The only thing that can reverse it, though, is quitting entirely. It doesn't matter what level you're at. The only way to go about reversing quitting entirely. Your self-esteem is going to be drastically raised, but it will come and go as you repair. So like I said, 2 years of hell for me, like, this is actually kind of on a coming and going scale. Like, after a while, you get used to quitting and your brain's rewiring itself. Like, it gets easier and easier as you go. But there will still be periods of depression, anxiety, etc. that will come upon you, and they will come and go, and they will leave you, and they'll come to you at random times, and you won't be able to predict them. So that you're going to be like a PMSing female if you're trying to quit this, because you don't know when it's going to come and you don't know when it's going to go. You're going to deal with concentration problems, extreme concentration problems. Like, you're going to have all this time on your hands, and you're going to wonder, what can I do with all this time? But you're not going to be able to concentrate on anything. Like, the only thing that got me through was playing video games, and that was lucky because I didn't play video games coming into this, so I was able to actually, like, numb my brain and just pass the time playing video games. For a lot of people that are already heavy video game users, you might not be able to use that crutch to get you through passing the time. I also got into weightlifting. So, like, you're going to deal with a lot of concentration problems. They're going to screw with your life in a lot of different ways if you do try to quit this. Brain fog is going to be a regular thing, and it depends on how much pornography and how sick pornography you're using. That is going to determine how bad a brain fog and how bad a concentration problems you deal with. So, like, this is going to affect your job, too. Like, you're not going to be able to concentrate at your job if you actually quit this stuff. But in the end, it's going to pay off tenfold. So tell your boss, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. A couple of years from now, I'm going to be 10 times the productive employee I am now, just because I'm going to be... well, I'll throw this in another video. You're going to be 100 times more productive as a person. Go watch the Malcolm in the Middle episode. It's later in the series. There's a Malcolm in the Middle episode where Hal and Lois quit having sex because they have like a urinary tract infection or something like that, where they got quit having sex for a couple weeks, and once they quit having sex, they start filing their taxes from like 10 years ago. That's what you're going to be doing. Because, like, once you actually get over the hump of needing sex and having sex drive all of your emotions and all of your life, like, you're going to be 100 times more productive, and you're going to be doing things like going over your tax returns from 10 years ago. And your boss is going to thank you for it. So, in the time that you're an unproductive employee, just tell them you're going to be 100 times more productive once you're through with this bullshit. Another thing that's going to happen, you're going to get erectile dysfunction. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. My own dick was a limp noodle. Like, that's half the reason I had all my relapses happen. I was just making sure my dick still worked. Like, I thought I was going to fall off. And I'm dead serious with that. Like, it was a limp noodle for a year straight. Like, nothing could have got me up. Nothing. Like, that's going to happen to most people. You're going to get extreme bouts of erectile dysfunction to the point where you're going to wonder if your dick is falling off. Like, I'm dead serious. Another thing you're going to have happen, you're going to get irritability, lethargy, aggressiveness, and unpredictable energy. I've been aggressive as hell. Like, that's the main reason I got into weightlifting. I was just so freaking aggressive. I wasn't able to concentrate that well, but I was so freaking aggressive that I turned that aggressive energy into extreme progress in the weight room. So thank God for that. Okay, so yeah, I kind of went over a lot of this already. My withdrawal symptoms were mostly irritability. I was extremely irritable, but not like towards others. I was irritable in my own skin. It was one of those things where like your skin is crawling. You don't even want to be in your own skin anymore. That sucked. And then the second worst thing by far is I couldn't sleep for like a year straight. Literally a year straight I couldn't sleep. And it was a weird way of not sleeping. Like, I'd get 5 hours here and there. Like, I could still sleep every night, but it was poor quality sleep. And I'd wake up at like, for me, waking up at 9 a.m. is pretty early. So I'd wake up at like 9 a.m. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Like, that was a big part of the problem is, in the relapses, I couldn't freaking sleep to get it over with. Like, and also, you combine it with depression, but you can't sleep at the same time. Like, imagine being depressed, and you can't freaking sleep off the depression. Like, that sucked. So, like, I was depressed, and I couldn't actually just go to bed for 16 hours a day and just be like, hey, I'll wake up in 2 years. Nope. It's not how my brain was doing me. It's probably going to happen to anybody that tries to quit, too. I don't really know. A lot of people talk about sleeplessness, so probably would happen to you. The depression was pretty bad, too. Like, I didn't even know what... I kind of thought depression wasn't even a real thing before I did all this. Like, honestly, I knew depression was real, but, like, I didn't understand it at all. I completely understand depression now. So, like, I'll never rag on anybody about depression again. Like, if you got depression, I feel for you. Because, like, the thing I love more than anything in the world is going to see live music. Summerfest is coming up, so I'll be there all 9 days. But I couldn't even get into music. So, like, that's another thing. Like I said, I couldn't sleep. Couldn't freaking go watch music because music is too complex to enjoy compared to, like, a simple video game. I didn't really want to do anything but go to the gym, and the only reason for that is because extreme aggression. The problem with that is when you got so much time on your hands, you got extreme aggression, well, you can hurt yourself by doing too much in the gym. That's what a lot of people do, is they do too much in the gym. They think they have to do more than they actually need to do to get progress. And, well, I actually had that happen to me because I was so freaking aggressive. I spent so much time in the gym that I hurt myself like 3 different times. Like, I literally hurt myself just because I was doing too much. I mostly abs. I was just trying to get abs, so like I did get abs, so that worked out. But I hurt my obliques like 4 times, and that sucked. Like, dude, that's another thing. I didn't even know what an oblique injury was until I actually hurt them. And then it started making sense why a baseball player will be out for 6 weeks with an oblique injury. Like, that shit hurts. It freaking hurts, man. Okay, so this was mostly the start, but in general, I basically just had to fight my own brain to win. Like, I literally just went 1.5 years straight just knowing that I had to just go to war with my brain. My brain was just going to keep telling me bullshit and keep trying to get me back to watching porn and giving him that nice dopamine rush that he was used to getting 3 times a day for however many years. So, everything was a fog for 1.5 years straight. I learned a lot of new habits just picking up stuff that I could do just because it didn't take a lot of energy out of me. And I had so much freaking time on my hands. So like I said in the Malcolm in the Middle episode, like, damn time on your hands and so much energy to be expelled that you're getting that you were throwing away on your sexual nature before. Like you could get a lot of shit done, and I damn well did. But it's weird stuff that you get done. Like it's not stuff you normally do. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I got a hell of a lot of stuff done though.
War to God's grace, it's all that it takes for each person with instincts to overcome the beast. Come on.
Okay, so I went over, and this is another thing that happened is I completely lost all sexual desire. Not only did my dick not work, like I said before, but like I didn't have any sexual desire whatsoever. I couldn't even be motivated to even look at a female. Like, I don't know what to tell you on that one, but that's one of the side effects of withdrawal. So, and feelings of total emptiness combined with that sucks. Bouts of extreme emotion, like first time in my life I cried at songs and movies and stuff. And then extreme fears and anxieties, like I don't even know what to tell you. Like just combine fear and anxiety with your brain trying to get you, just tell you anything to get you back to giving it dopamine. Like it's not gonna go well. So I mean, just combine all this with unpredictable sleep patterns and all of that on top of it, and just everything was horrible. Another thing is I lost all charisma and charm. I couldn't even speak to people for a while. Like I didn't even have the desire to just speak for the most part. Even just to smile, like any of that stuff, I didn't want to do anything. Here's another thing that was fucking terrible that added to the sleep problem is constant porn dreams and nightmares. And I also had, what do you call it, when you release in your sleep, when you ejaculate in your sleep. I don't even know what that's called. I'm blanking on it. But I had that happen a whole bunch of times, and it always happened in coincidence with a porn dream or a porn nightmare. They're always nightmares, actually. They're always freaking nightmares. So you're going to get nightmares watching porn. Like, I got like a file cabinet of porn in my head still, and I can't wait till that shit's gone. Like, I can't wait till it's gone. And that's just part of the problem. Like, you got a file cabinet of pornography in your head, and you don't know it. And it's going to, when you're trying to get rid of that file cabinet, your brain's going to flash it before you. So, like, you're gonna see flashbacks of what you used to be doing. So that's part of the problem here, and that sucks because it makes you not be able to sleep. At least in my case, it makes a whole bunch of stuff happen, but in my case, it made me not be able to sleep. All right, so basically, and actually, hell, another side effect is I was gonna make this video like 5-6 months ago, but I had a relapse, not a relapse. I had a bunch of psychological issues just come back. I thought I was through everything. I was like a year and a half into this. I was like a year and 9 months or so into this, and all of a sudden I get another bout of depression coming back to me. I thought I was over everything. So, like, the reason I didn't even make this video earlier is because of the symptoms I had 2 years after I quit. Like, I lost charisma and charm from probably, like, February to the end of March of this year. Like, I lost, like, a whole 3 months of my life 2 years after I quit watching porn, just because of the lack of charisma and drive to do anything, just drive to be social in any way, because I was still dealing with the psychological symptoms of overcoming this addiction. But now it's over and I won. I'm pretty sure July 19th, 2023 marks 3 years. Today is June 12th, so almost 3 years into this, and I think I finally won once and for all. From now, I basically just have to deal with minor inconsistencies of my brain going crap on certain occasions. Maybe, I don't really know. I'm probably defeated it entirely, though. Okay, so, well, what did I do in the past 3 years and all this time that I've been doing this? Well, I basically just became an entirely new person. I got into tip-top shape because, like I said, I had extreme aggression. I went crazy in the gym. Like, honestly, I learned so much about my body and just connection of mind-muscle control. Like, it's incredible. And I think part of the reason I learned so much about mind-muscle connection is because I was rewiring my own brain. So, like, if I'm learning weightlifting truly for the first time in my life, and I'll get into this in another video, like, none of you know shit about lifting. Like, I had so much time on my hands, I had to sit down and study and learn how to lift properly. And the thing I learned about that is nobody knows shit about lifting, and everybody's doing almost everything wrong. Well, not wrong. There's no downside to weightlifting unless you doing it really wrong where you're going to hurt yourself. But, like, you're not focusing on the mind-muscle connection the way you're supposed to be. And I was able to do that in my time that I had to just fill my days with anything I could because there's nothing else I could do. So I pretty much completely changed my daily habits entirely, just in general as well. Like I said before, I became the guy I was when I was 13. When I was 13, man, I had up until from about like age 8 to like 13, I was dating the girls in the next grade up. Like I was talking to every girl in the school basically until the day I started watching porn. And anybody in West Dallas that will tell you the truth about that will vouch for me. Mostly females will vouch for me on that one. Because none of the males will admit to what was going on with that one. But up until I was about 13, I could fucking pull off anything with girls. I had girls on standby, basically. Like, girls ringing my phone constantly. And then that went away when I turned 13. And it's kind of back now. It's kind of back. Like, they look at me the same way they used to look at me back when I was like 13. It's like I got a shine and a glow on me of some greasy ass, dirty ass habit that I got rid of and it escaped entirely from my life. So like it's almost like I got a shine and a glow about me because I did this. Oh wait, that is what's going on. And a lot of the reason I'm doing this now is because I'm gonna make my wife the happiest woman on earth. I guarantee you that. Actually, I could read you a letter from somebody that already wanted to be my wife when I was already watching porn. You wouldn't even believe that somebody actually sent this to another person. Part of the reason I didn't want her as wife because she's so fucking crazy about me. It's mind numbing. So like now, I'm gonna be able to pull that off for real. Like this time, like I got nothing stopping me on this one, and it's gonna be easy to very gratefully satisfy a woman from all aspects: psychological, emotional, psychological fulfillment, everything. Just every aspect. It's gonna be easy as hell to pull off. I'm gonna be able to sweep any woman off her feet that is my choosing. But well, I'll leave it at that. Well, that's the end of that one. Okay, so I'm about near at the end here. Alright, so in the end, this has totally made me into... It's truly made me into an immovable man. My moral principles can't be ever shaken again. Like, you can't shake my moral principles on anything now.
Now we all established Greg Max New King, and the king for his people got to represent the right thing. Brothers in the ghetto stop genociding, cause the same boat we riding will do like the Poseidon. I watch the Earth's cheese line getting longer. I watch allegiance to Satan's armies getting stronger.
Nothing. Like, I'm in complete control of everything in regards to sexuality and desire. You can't shake me. You can't shake me on anything at all. Actually, you can't even piss me off anymore, really. I'll just be laughing at you. The only person who can piss me off now is myself. And and I'm even getting better at that. So, another thing is, in the end, this has also completely revolutionized my views towards women. Like, I see the problems that we see in our women in society as completely driven by the men. I'll say this up close. Like, the reason we see so many problems with our men in society, it's not the women. Or we see so many problems with women. It's because we have a bunch of weak men, disgusting men driven by their pornographic desires and their disgusting, lustful behaviors that are making them act the way they are. If you would remove the lust from your life, well, you'd get rid of it. But that's not what you've done, and women screw you over because of it. So, like, really all I got to say about that. I just see why men fail in relationships now. I see it like the back of my hand. Like, dude, I'm telling you, like I already told you in the beginning of the video, like, you can't, like, I already went over this in the beginning, you can't have a devotion to your wife unless you get the lust out of your life in the first place. You've opened the Pandora's box into your marriage. It's the man's responsibility to take care of this shit. Like, it's not on the woman, the man leads the woman. So, get that through your thick skull. You're going to have a failed relationship if you don't get this out. Like, I could see it clear as day. Clear as day. Alright, so what's the goal here? I forgot to bring the book out with me. There's a book called The Multi-Orgasmic Man. That's a lot of my goal here is study this book called The Multi-Orgasmic Man. That's a good method of getting your sexuality under your own control. Man Talk Chia wrote that book. Mantauk, Chia, I think. Chia. I think I got his last name wrong actually, but Multi-Orgasmic Man. Look that book up. They got one for couples. They've got one for women. Women can learn to be multi-orgasmic as well. So I'm learning to not. I'm actually one-upping all of you. I'm actually eliminating sexual desire from my life, but at the same time, I'm one-upping you on what sexuality is going to bring me to my life, because I'm going to study. I am studying this book, and I am going to work it into my marriage. And you've heard that right. It's called The Multi-Orgasmic Man and The Multi-Orgasmic Woman for a reason. These books are a step-by-step on how to get multi-orgasmic capabilities that will fulfill your sexual life much greater than lust could, than the emptiness that lust will ever bring you. Lust will only bring you emptiness. Controlling your lust will bring you multi-orgasmic capabilities. That's what I'm doing now. And when I tell you my wife is going to be happier than anybody on earth, well, that's because I'm going to be giving her like 50 orgasms every time we have sex. So combine that with me being a great person overall, which a lot of you don't think, and a lot of you don't agree with that, but I truly am a great person to know and have on your side. You want me on your side, I guarantee you that. When the shit goes down, I'm the guy you call. So, basically, I pretty much feel awful for married men, just in general, because, like, if you're not multi-orgasmic and you're still doing the whole porn thing, like, actually just anybody in a relationship, pretty much anybody in general, I just feel bad for you. Like, if you are multi-orgasmic and not in control of your lust, I don't envy you. Like, period, point blank, straight up, all there is to say about it. So, if your goal is to, like me, heal yourself and heal your reproductive organs and get yourself back to your natural state through the discipline of abstination from sexual desire, well, I'll shake your hand and I'll be your friend. But if you ain't do that, well, I don't really give a fuck. So, I mean, if you take, and I guess the only thing I gotta add here is that if you take anything from this, maybe you could try to be a multi-orgasmic man without getting the pornography and lust out of your life anyways, and maybe you could benefit from that. So, hell, even if you hate me, and even if you're still listening to this because you hate me so much that you gotta listen to the whole damn thing, maybe even you could get something out of this video, even if you're going to hell. Like, hell, you could become multi-orgasmic. So if you got this far, I'll give you that one. Try it. I don't know. I probably couldn't do it with, I don't know, though. We'll see. Maybe you can. Okay, so, yeah, I guess that's all. Alright, that's all, folks. Coming back with about 18 different parts on this one. For, like, each little thing I went over, I'm going to do another little whole video for that specific part. So, like, you want to hear about my psychological symptoms or whatever you want to hear about, you're gonna be hearing it. Because I'm just going to keep making this shit. Because I'm making this not for me. I'm making this to help the youth below me who need to know that pornography is bullshit. And that chasing your sexual desire is bullshit. You need to hear it from somebody like me. Not some fucking dork-ass pastor or some fucking... You need to hear it from somebody who's actually lived. Like, I got plenty of experience. If you're a child and you're listening to me talk about this, do what I'm telling you. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off in spades. I promise you that.